see if I can help you out here, Salty. Oh, crap.
Cracking open secure messages would be easy if only you knew how to factor huge numbers. In this episode, we'll show you how, with a twist.
Okay, maybe it'll help if I give you this photoelectric effect of what I'm actually doing. Maybe if you've seen some keys about how I lie, tell the truth.
Uses really big
the way I have
For
spin
a detailed description,
gives
check
me
out some
that
of the great
invert
videos we've
all
linked
the
to in the description.
55 numbers, all
But
55.
for now, here's the
It's an
distilled
anti-mean.
version.
Graph everything
It's
around it,
pretty easy
and
for
it's
a
a huge
computer
number
to find
of
big prime numbers
both nothing and
multiply them
everything.
together.
3 times
But
5,
it's really hard for a
35.
computer
Yeah, how
to
do you
do
know it's
the
a prime number,
opposite.
though? It's a complex.
Find the prime factors of a really big number. The prime factors of a
I'm
number
prime.
are
I
all
use
the prime
complex.
numbers that
It works in the
evenly
mill.
divide it. Normally,
So in a
RSA
complex
cryptography uses these prime factors
where the mean
like
is
keys to decrypt
666 instead of the big one, 96.
So,
in the
if
program,
you want to eavesdrop, you'll need to find one of these keys to hack in.
There are
That
many.
is, you'll need to find the prime factors of a big number. And we're talking really big, as in hundreds of
big.
digits long. Let's try a small example. What are the prime factors of 35? Well, they're 5 and 7. How did
they
you
work
figure that
like
out?
that. If me and
Probably
Alice
just
and
by
Bob
looking at it.
and Dave,
But even
we
if you
all
had
get out
forgotten
here,
that fact, you could have just
it's a
checked
really
all the
big
prime
number.
numbers smaller
We
than
could have
35.
just done the brute force method of
Does 2
having the
divide it?
numbers,
No.
not trying to
Does
figure
3?
them out long
No.
form.
Does 5? Yes.
And that's a hard
And so
road to
on.
hoe, anyways.
How boring. And, more importantly for a computer,
It can become an octagon, not just energy.
we'll need to do something
depending
more
on
strategic
how you start.
to factor
you
really
start with the
big
end,
numbers.
A1,
Enter one of the
and
great math heroes,
end to the
Euler.
modern periods.
Along with
I don't know the guy,
many
but
other
I know
things,
SCP.
Euler
Now,
thought a
for
lot
him to give it
about
to me
prime
to want me
numbers,
to
relatively
carry
prime
the banner
numbers,
here,
and
as much
modular
as
arithmetic,
there's
which is
competitive
basically all the
indexes
math
in the room
underlying RSA
about who
cryptography.
teaches it. So
So it makes sense that
a lot
we
of
use
this
similar
come from
math to
her
break the
about when we
algorithm.
get to a 24 or
Modular
12 hour.
arithmetic is what happens when
mod.
you count in a circle.
Okay.
Counting modulo 5, or mod 5 for short, goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, and so on.
Pens row.
We just use the numbers less than 5 on repeat.
The video.
We tell time mod 12
the video corruption
or mod
based
24,
on the
depending
ROM's
on your
timing.
convention.
Okay.
This
That's a
cyclical
loop.
counting extends
show
to
you
the
another one.
arithmetic operations. So, 1
This
plus
5
2
mile
mod
run through
5
town
is
that you're
still just
tracking on
3,
an average.
But 2 plus
If
3 mod
running
5 is
was
0.
the board
and 2 times
on
3
how those
is 1 mod
operations
5.
then break,
Another way to think about
could still
modular
have
arithmetic is in terms of the
a place to
remainder
hide in
when
the
dividing numbers.
MOS chip.
So, here's a slightly more formal definition.
And in that mod or period,
A is congruent to x mod n means that when we divide
okay,
a
so
by
this should
n,
make it a little
the
easier because
remainder
this is the
x.
Enigma machine. I'm
So,
inverting it
2
backwards. I'm
times 3 is
changing
6.
this
But
into
when
a
we divide
mallow
6
cup
by
factory.
5, the
I'm
remainder
changing
is
it
1.
into the
So 2
numbers
times
of
3
overclocking
mod
system,
5 is
underclocking systems,
Euler noticed something about
and I would say the
modular
ratio
arithmetic and exponentiation.
or the x
Let's look at the
bars
powers of 3.
would be psi,
3,
would be
9,
psi is as
27,
much as
81,
wave function
243, and so
in a
on.
value of
And
something
let's
we
look at them all
appreciated to then
mod
say,
10.
if
It's
1,
easy to figure
I
out
need
what
that
things
number
are mod
first.
10 because it's just the remainder when you divide by 10, which is the ones digit. So, mod 10, our sequence is 3971,
We'll get there.
3971, and so on.
This becomes
Let's
it
repeat the same
based on
experiment,
this
but instead of
operation
looking
of
at the powers of
steps.
3 mod 10,
And it's a local
let's
code.
look at the powers
It's
of 2
still a
mod 7.
physical bilingual
The
sign
powers
language of
2
n
are
numbers,
2,
a better
4, 8,
result,
16, 32,
how they
64,
balance
and so on.
into what
And
is
mod 7,
the
we
real
get 2, 4,
to an
1,
output
2,
that would do
4,
ones and
1,
zeros the
and
same
so
way.
on.
But
What do
there,
you
1 and
observe?
0 is
The
negative
sequence
1,
of
0.
powers just gets bigger and bigger. But
I like
the
to say-
modular versions of the sequence cycle. They repeat the same pattern over and over again. And
compressed.
the last
Negative 1,
digit of
negative
that
2,
pattern
negative. I
is
give you the
always
apple, or the photon, the
as
apple,
long as
and the
x and
Hydron
n
Collider
are
drop.
relatively prime,
Now,
meaning they
how
share
far the
no
windage
prime
is going to be on a
factors,
Hydron
the
Collider,
sequence x mod n,
an
x squared
apple,
mod n, x cubed mod n,
or a
x
photon
fourth
dropped
mod
out
n,
of
and
that
so on,
C17
will
moving at
always have
x
this
or
property.
n.
We call the length of the repeating pattern the period. So the period
I kept seeing it
of
come
3
up
mod
on
10
field
is
trip
4,
with
and the
people.
period of 2
Now, it could have
mod
been
7 is
kids,
3.
could have been
Here's why the
any
period is important.
marker or
If the
bracket
period
of
x mod
figuring
n
out the
is some
arbitrary
number r,
on
then
that
R is the
serviceability
smallest
of
number
a
such that
stone
x to the
mills
R is
worker.
congruent to 1
Right?
mod n.
Because I'm still looking for
example,
IH, the heat. We're not
3 to the
going
4th
to try
is
to lie and
congruent to
say
1 mod 10.
we could do Hubble deep
But
field stuff
3 to
without the
1st, 3
observation
squared,
of some of
and
the
3 cubed
telescopes,
are not 1
no matter
mod
what
10.
the optics came
But
from.
let's get back to our original
They would still
goal.
correlate the
What
same
does all this
math
stuff
or the
about
same
modular
observation,
arithmetic,
63,
exponentiation,
73,
and periods
remarkably
have to do with factoring
accurate
large
for their
numbers?
time
Let's say I give you a number n.
doing that type
I
of
tell
Euler.
you n
Euler
equals
before we
p
had the
times q
processors,
for 2
physicists
prime
before
numbers
they
p and q.
had the
But
NP
I don't tell
order
you anything
figured
about
out
those
to
primes.
doping chips
Your job is to find them.
to
Here's
do
how
it
you'll
from
do it.
there. And then
Step
this will
1.
help program that as well.
Pick any number smaller
The
than
early
n.
framework gives you
Let's
a
call the
good
number you
base
selected A.
to help build off
Check
of
to
that.
make sure
Although
that
I'm not
A
good with
and
Droid,
n are relatively prime by computing the greatest common divisor of
but
A
they're
and n.
X and Y.
The
It's
greatest
not my
common
main
divisor
course,
of two numbers is the biggest
but I know it's a
integer
dish that
divides
I have to
both.
serve up in the kitchen
So
for.
it's
It
1
will
if
touch
the
on
two
the
numbers
subject.
are relatively prime. The Euclidean algorithm is a
Where
quick
is it?
and standard way to find the GCD
Oh,
of two numbers.
oh, come on.
If they have a divisor in
Maybe this one.
common, that's a factor of n, which is what you've been looking for, and you've saved yourself the rest of the
There we
steps.
go. Delport
Step 2.
daily. Again, I can get it to do
Compute the
basic
period
stuff.
of A mod n. Let's call it R.
Do button, meow,
For the sake of
subscribe,
example,
doesn't do much.
let's say
Do
you're
stuff,
trying to
it
find the
doesn't do
factors of
stuff.
35.
I couldn't figure out how to
so
get
n
into
equals
here
35.
based on
And
the
you
programming,
pick A equals
how to do
8,
it.
since it's relatively prime to 35.
Okay.
Then, with a little computation, we can see that R equals 4.
Okay, so let's just get out of here for
To
real
make
quick.
all the arithmetic work out, we're going to need to divide R by 2. So we need to know that R is even. Later on, we'll also need to know that A to the R over 2
Just
plus
controls
1
dark, but
is
you
not
change small
congruent
parts
to
here,
0
it
mod n.
changes the video control
If either of these things
of what the
fail,
output is or
we need
where
to
it
pick a
is
different
or
A
when it
in
is.
step 1. Luckily,
I know
there's
that
at least a
by
50%
tearing
chance
this
you'll
down
pick a good
to
value
just a
for
murder
A.
button. Just
So
a
on
button
average,
that changes
you won't have to
screens
try too
and then
many
you
times.
open up into a new
For step
screen.
3, we'll have to do
But it's
some
a bit
algebra.
more complicated.
Let's start with the fact we know.
Okay, and then
A
see
to
how
the
that
R
screen
is
was made?
congruent
You have
to
to know
1
this
mod
stuff
n,
in order to get
which,
ZBrush to
subtracting
output
1,
here, dark
gives
web stuff
that A to
with
the R minus 1
Zoom
is
Summit,
congruent to 0 mod n.
a multi-domain
Saying that
battlefield
something is
for
0
Perkins.
mod n is the same
right?
as saying that it's a multiple of n. So there must exist some integer k
And you become
such that a to the
GPT-3.
r minus 1 equals k
Data
times
redacted.
n. Since we assumed r is an even number,
Well,
we can
there's
rewrite
a
it
point where
as
information at
a to the r over 2 minus 1
as much as I would love to go
times
through
a to the r over 2
all of this
plus
with
1
you, my Minimax
equals
sensor's
kn.
going off, and what you
And
need
since
is
n equals pq,
this one.
we'll replace
you
it
need
with
this one
pq.
right here. We can't help you on the
Okay.
cost on things
That
because
was kind of a lot of algebra. I often
in
find
Mecha,
it easier
hopefully,
to work through
the
computations
programming
like that on
isn't
my
cut
own
off into a
instead of
certain
watching
loop
someone else do
that
it. You're welcome to pause here and check the steps. Here's what
does the
happens
moon
with
where we
the
left it?
example
I don't
where
know.
we are
If I
trying to
find out
find
later
the
that it's
factors
not,
of
and I let you
35.
trust you do.
Since the period of 8 mod 35 is 4, we have 8 to the 4th is congruent to 1 mod 35. So 8 to the 4th minus 1 is congruent to 0 mod 35. Actually, 8 to the 4th minus 1 is 4,095,
They
but
work
we
on
only care about its
reciprocals.
value,
On mods
mod
and periods
35.
takes me to chew
We can
through one of
rewrite
those
this as 8 to the
graboids.
4th minus 1
right,
equals
and somebody
k
dumps it
times
off with the
35
dozer
for
load.
some integer k. Again,
Gonna
we
take
could
you
solve
how
for
many
k in this
thins and
case, but it's
regulars for the
irrelevant,
day,
so I'll
and
leave it
then
as a
that's my
variable.
whole mod period. Went
Rewrite
from
this
A to
as
R,
8 squared
capital
minus
form
1
of
times 8
sigma
squared
to
plus 1
lowercase a
equals
delta,
k times p
and
times
a
q, where
it
p
over a
and q are the
derivative.
prime factors
And that's really
of
what happens.
35 that we're searching for.
And then it's mutually
Step 4 is the
inexclusive,
grand finale.
but exclusive in
I
superposition.
claim that the greatest common
Sandbox
divisor
will
of
still
a
go
to the
on
r
to
over
that.
2 minus 1
Now,
and n
if I factor
is
some
one of
stuff
the
and I can
prime
say,
factors.
well, I
Let's
hadn't
call
really
it P.
changed your raise
And
and
the
the
greatest common
promotion
divisor
on
of
a
a
set
to the
to
r over
certain
2
things,
plus
or
1
it had,
and n
because
is
those are
the other
common
prime factor.
paths.
Let's call it Q.
Then the crypto
Why?
can just be based in local gravity. It doesn't necessarily need to be. That's why Wind Talker, figure out the pattern, know the field, can get you where they're going. If there's a Black Sea, right, and all the big cities are next to the Black Sea in Ukraine, and what's the mods and the periods on the golden the point or position capital form of the golden ratio back there
for certain types of problems.
is not the same thing in terms of what's actually happening there to the mods and periods. But you got to be careful with it, because there's a reality to bandwidth in out as an operator.
The equation a to the r over 2 minus 1 times a to the r over 2 plus 1 equals kpq means that p must divide one of the factors on the left and q must divide one of the factors on the left.
You want to give some reference, right? So
but
it'll help when you can put some of this stuff up. I do this with other subject matters for other topological meetings. You know, it's like, well, can it be? Well, the topological of what can write on in a mod or a period, or it's a modification of how long the timeline's work. Does it still do the same basic system as this Euler at 50 points past the decimal? Probably. Yeah, I mean.
So a to the r over 2 minus 1 is not congruent to 0 mod n. Since p and q divide separate factors on the left side of the equation, we can assume p divides a to the r over 2 minus 1, and q divides a to the r over 2 plus 1.
When I know the IMA are the mods of the periods that deal with things that are already generally modeled or on a high or a low operator,
or rewatch it. So, in our example,
there are lots of
p
questions.
is the greatest common divisor of